ProRally event from California, Garen Schrader took the win and moved into second in the overall points. Paul Schwanier on the Hyundai team settled for third after a penalty, while his teammate Noel Lawler is now in sixth place overall. Pete Lamb, who finished second at Rim of the World, is not competing in today's event. Two-wheel drive sees Ralph Cosmides out front in the hunt for the Woodner Cup. Wellsboro, Pennsylvania for the Susquehannock Trail Pro Rally. Every year, the event that all the fans and all the drivers look forward to is the Susquehannock Trail Pro Rally here in Wellsboro, Pennsylvania. Today, we've got fantastic weather and over 80 cars entered in the event. We're about to get underway. Let's take a quick look at some of the entries. This rally is so big, it's brought together three national champions: Paul Schwanier from the U.S., Frank Sprongel from Canada, and Gabriel Marin Ortiz from Mexico.
We was here in '98 to see the rally, and I like very much. So I hope we can make a good job.
Another man who's come a long way for this event, all the way from Canada, last year's event winner, Frank Sprongel in his Audi. Frank, what's the plan for you today?
It's going to be tough. I think we're in a better position than last year. We're car 2 on the road. Noel Lawler in the Hyundai's car 1. Paul Schwanier, the U.S. champion, is car 3 on the road and passed. So we got our work to cut out definitely this year, but it'll be, I think, a steady, fast pace will determine the winner this year.
And the man who knows the changes needed to set that pace, Paul Schwanier in his Hyundai.
Well, the biggest change that we make is we change the gear ratios, because at the last event it was so slow and tight that you need different gear ratios than you do here, where it's very, very, very fast. So that's the biggest change, was changing the gear ratios. And other than that, we just lower the car a little bit because it's not as rough here on these roads, and look forward to some fifth gear turns.
And the crowd's looking forward to it too, as Noel Lawler, Paul's teammate, heads out of Wellsboro to hit the stages. And those are going to be long stages, over 312 miles of driving in this event, all on one day, over 17 hours of competition. And Noel's set to take off here on stage number 1, off the line and into the woods. Noel's happy about the new car he's driving this season.
Well, driving the Tiburon is a big step up. It feels great. It handles brilliantly compared to the car we had last year. And if it goes as well as it went in California, we'll have a good run.
And looks like he's having just that kind of run, coming through here, making good speed. Next on the road, Frank Sprongel and his brother Dan. He told us how he approaches an event like this.
With caution, definitely, because the roads this year are newly graded. They have a high crown, supposedly, on them, as we were told. So if you go too hard, the trees are going to bite you in the butt, definitely. So I think patience will pay off at this event.
The man that knows about patience, Paul Schwanier and his co-driver, Jeff Becker.
High-speed corners are going to be very common here today, and it's going to be a much different driving style than we had at the last event. So we're going to have to get some time under our belt to get adjusted to that different style of driving before we really go out and attack.
The important thing to remember about Pro Rally is that these guys race in any conditions on any kind of roads. As a matter of fact, I'm standing right here at the finish of stage 1, and here they come. Noel Lawler coming through. Now, the trick in this water crossing is that the finish of the stage is actually in the exact center of the river. So you don't want to go too slow, you don't want to go too fast and hurt the car. Frank Sprongel now. No time wasted. He's got the skip the stone approach, makes it through nicely. On board with Paul Schwanier as he sets up for the famous water crossing. Sort of an in-between thing there. Just the right speed, knows what to do. Steve Gingras now. He's moved up to the open class for this event. Comes in now. Nice crossing right through the water. That's the way it's done. And now Gabriel Marin Ortiz coming into the water. Yeah, they've got water in Mexico. He knows what he's doing too. Garen Schrader next, and he's got a lot of respect for this event.
It's a place where we can't make mistakes. The trees, you'll see from the in-car shots, the trees are right on the road. The banks are very steep. It's a place where you make a minor mistake and it could lead to a big accident.
And this is a place where a lot of mistakes are made. Just recovers it, though. He's on his way to the water crossing. Oh, yeah, the fans like that one. Take a look on board as he comes through here. That is explosive force. A lot of radiators damaged there. They'll make it through okay, though. John Kemp next on the road in his Audi comes to the water crossing. Nice chance to give the car a little wash off. So after the first stage, Paul Schwanier's out front, Frank Sprungel second, Noel Lawler third, John Kemp fourth, and Garen Schrader fifth. Now the water crossing's a lot of fun, but Ivan Orasek and his wife Olga had a rough time here. Oh, right into the tree. It's all fun and games till someone loses a radiator. We'll be right back after this. This Pro Rally event is brought to you by Hyundai. Driving is believing.
I beat up cars for a living. I'm driving a Hyundai Tiburon in the Pro Rally Series. We've won the Manufacturers' Championship the last 3 years for Hyundai. Hyundai's now stepped up to prove its reliability with America's best warranty. They're standing behind their cars in a big way. If everything is just right, then it builds my confidence as a driver.
Get in the car.
A guy's world is full of sweat. That's why there's Speed Stick Ultimate. It's antibacterial. It kills the germs that cause odor. And isn't that the ultimate goal? Speed Stick Ultimate.
When you're in the zone and you're on the edge, and I mean the edge, but you're in control, and you can bring that sucker home in first place, that's heaven. Hell is when you put it in the fence.
Speed Gear presents its latest catalog of officially licensed racing merchandise. Choose from the top names in Formula One, kart, and NASCAR. F1 teams Ferrari, Williams, Benetton, and Jordan. Championship drivers including Villeneuve, Schumacher, Senna, and Prost. Kart teams Newman Haas, AAR, Forsythe, plus drivers Andretti, Fittipaldi, and many others. Speed Gear has it all, from t-shirts and hats to fabulous artwork, videos, and die-cast collectibles. Call now for a free copy of our latest catalog, or visit us on the internet at speedgear.com. Speed Gear has it all.
We're back in the Toyota Forest of Wellsboro, Pennsylvania, as Noel Lawler is still first on the road, coming through on stage 2 here. Noel's looking to make up time. He knows he wants to stay out front for the reseed that's going to be occurring after this stage. Frank Sprungel on the road behind him has the same thing in mind, and you can see the dust starting to form as the day heats up here. That's going to be a big factor and much of the reason these guys want to get a good time on these stages so they can be out front after the lunch break. Paul Schwanier, now you got to remember it was on this very stage last year, stage 2, where he had a bad crash, put himself out of the event. He's definitely looking to be cautious as he comes through on this stage. Steve Gingras still moving along nicely. Looks like the open glass is suiting him well. He's not in the top 5, but he's got some competitive times and definitely someone to keep an eye on as we go on board here. You can see he's working real hard through the dust. Gabriel Marin Ortiz, here's a guy that knows about dust. He's actually watched this event before.
The last year I saw a very good roads, and I think this year is going to be the same. I talked with my co-driver, Mike Williams. He has a very good experience, so I think everything is going to be all right.
And it looks like it is so far. Garen Schrader coming through here now. After his win in California, he's looking to see if he can repeat the same thing here. He's up against a little, whoa, and the dust is so thick. You can just see what's going on there. He comes out of these things, oh, right through the dust and almost into the trees. The visibility is definitely becoming a factor. As the day warms up, the roads dry out, and the dust builds up. Taking a quick look over at the two-wheel drive classes. Jim Anderson with his co-driver Martin Depo out front. Behind him, Ralph Cosmides defending his efforts.
You know, the Ruby's Toyota Supra is really well suited for this type of road. It's very fast, very open. Rim we struggle with. It's a lot tighter and twistier, but we can really let it run here, and it suits the car well.
Henry Krolikowski making up time behind Ralph, doing nicely on the road. And Leslie Sutter, definitely someone to watch in Group 2, as she makes her way along the course here. Bill Malik has been having trouble. We understand a freeze plug may have come out of his engine. He could be out of the event. And Chris Hobbs in his car comes through. He's going to give us a ride on board. Nice angle there. You can see the dust is just killing him here. Oh, gets it sideways. Oh, into the side of the bank. That is it. You can hear the revving there. That's bad news. The reason? A broken drive shaft. He will be done for the day. Back to the action up front. Noel Lawler still first on the road, making his way to the finish at stage 4 here. Nice hairpin work, gets it sideways. Into the finish, 35 minutes, .50. That's hundredths of a minute. They time it that way so they can add it up quick on the road. Frank Spongel coming through next here. He gets it a little sideways on board there. Hangs on to it, though. He's used to that kind of stuff. Coming through the hairpin. Oh, looks like he missed a gear there. That's going to cost him precious seconds. Gets it underway again. Momentum is the key factor with these hairpins. You got to keep moving. At the finish now, 35.41. He is moving. That's the fastest time yet. Paul Schwanier next on the road. Comes to the hairpin himself. Nice slide. Keeps the power on. That's the way it's done. He comes into the finish 35.79. So Sprongel so far fastest. Garen Schrader now comes along. We get an onboard view. The dust is, he is sideways. That is definitely going to cost time. He's got to get unstuck out of there, and the dust is really killing him back there in that 5th position on the road. Comes through okay, 36.49.
Some of these corners out here are really tricky, and they're hard to read, and it opened and tightened, and caught myself in the middle of it a little on the power too quick, and we ended up sideways, and it was so narrow we lost probably 20 seconds trying to get the car straightened back out on the road. But that was about my moment for the day, I think.
We hope so. As we go to the lunch break, Frank Sprongel's out front with Noel Lawler behind, Paul Schwanier 3rd, Garen Schrader 4th, and Steve Gingras moves into 5th.
Keep watching more ProRally on Speed Vision.
Is your dog a car chaser, a road rover, the neighborhood nuisance? You need invisible fencing pet containment. Over 1 million responsible pet owners trusted to keep their pets out of danger and safe at home.
I never worry about my dog running into the street.
Invisible fencing dogs learn to stop at an invisible boundary.
My invisible fencing dog never leaves our yard.
The Invisible Fencing brand is recognized by Consumers Digest for excellent value and recommended by the ASPCA for superior pet containment.
Whatever his size, a pet is a big responsibility. If you're going to let them play outside, use Invisible Fencing Pet Protection.
Call to learn more about Invisible Fencing, the only brand of pet containment recommended by the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Call the number on your screen.
Call now toll-free, 1-800-369-8866.
I say, Leonardo, what is it you are drawing there now, my friend?
This is a flying machine, an invention centuries ahead of its time.
A flying machine without wings, it looks more like the Tower of Pisa to me.
You screwy little man, don't you know this is just a can? The flying machine is inside. It's an energy drink called Red Bull.
A bull that you drink, I think you are full of bull. Oh, I hate to say to you, you're a genius.
Fine, laugh all you want, but someday you will all be singing the praises of Red Bull. It gives you wings.
Arrivederci Da Vinci.
We're back on the green in Wellsboro, Pennsylvania, as the drivers get ready to head out to the Susquehannock Trail Pro Rally. One of the interesting things about the sport of Pro Rally is they do what's called a reseed in the middle of the race. What they do is they take the fastest guys and put them out front of the pack. That gives them a big advantage over the dust and the bad conditions we're seeing here in Wellsboro. What it also does is give the crowd a chance to see the best guys first. We've had an interesting situation here in Wellsboro where we've had Noel Lawler and Frank Sprongel tie for 2nd position on the road after the first 2 stages. They went back to stage 4, looked at the times, and they gave Noel Lawler the advantage. He'll be starting 2nd on the road.
I mean, Paul's going to go as quick as he can, and hopefully he won't have any problems in a stage and slow down where I catch him, and then we catch more dust. Otherwise, he'll be ahead of me, and I'll be 2nd, and Sprongel will be 3rd. Hopefully the way the end of the day will end.
That's exactly what Frank Sprongel is not hoping for, and he's worried about the 2 Hyundais in front of him.
Hopefully there won't be any team orders in play, so hopefully there won't be any dust problems later on tonight, but anything can happen. It's a rally, so we'll go out flat out and chase them down, hopefully.
And things are happening in Paul Schwanier's pit. As his crew gets to work, there may be a problem.
I'm hoping that it's going to be very dusty tonight, and being first on the road will be a big advantage to us. And at some point after the first two stages, it developed a bit of a boosting problem. That it's not a big problem, it's just not just right. So we'll see. They've done some changes to it during the service time, and we'll see if it affects it. But I think that the problem might be offset by the advantage the dust is going to give us later tonight.
And that advantage is tremendous as Schwanier gets set off on stage 5 here. No dust at all in front of him, and that's exactly what he's hoping he'll be seeing for the rest of the event. It really is an incredible advantage. People say it's worth 10, 15, 20 seconds a stage, and you can see why that works for him. Coming through here, nice clear track in front of him, but the dust starting to build behind him. Now we're on board with Noel Lawler. He's coming into that dust, and it's not real bad yet, but you can see the potential as he comes through the hairpin here. That stuff is starting to build up. And that's what Frank Sprongel will have to be going through just behind them. There's been no rain on this course for several days, and that combined with the 80, 90-degree temperatures is really causing problems here on the course. They're still going with a 1-minute dust window, which doesn't give much time for the dust to clear between cars on the course. Sprongel's making it even thicker for Garen Schrader right behind him as he comes through here. Gets through just no visibility at all, and you come through these blind spots, there's nothing you can do. You can see him working from the front camera. He is really trying to work hard to make up some time. Almost puts it in the bank there, but he's keeping it going. Another Canadian team from Toronto, Keith Townsend and Jennifer Coate, moving up nicely in the standings. And John Kemp and Rod Hendrickson still forging ahead through the dust, moving up the ranks. Quick look now at the production GT class, where we've got Gail Truis and Patty Hughes out in front at the break.
We're in Wellsboro. Gail Truis here leading GT at this point. How's it feel?
Oh, we're surprised to be at the front of the field because there's such intense GT competition out here at Wellsboro. There's at least 13 competitive cars, including 2 past GT national champions.
Cal Landau is hot on her heels with co-driver Eric Marcus. Chris Sizio and Eric Carlson also in the running for the production GT title. Not such a good day for Celsius Donnelly and Kevin Mullen in their production GT entry. A blown tire caused them to roll on the first stage, but remarkably, they got the car up and running again and are still in the event. Nice work. Over in the production class, Carl Scheibel still out front in the amazing VW Bug. Nice job there. And Jake Kowalik got a nice ride. He's having a good day so far in the Honda. Got a little extra look at the wildlife. Watch the center of the screen here, comes through. Yep, that's a deer. You got to be always on the alert out here in the woods. And the Daewoo Nubria made its debut in the production class, a factory effort. These guys are having a great first event.
We're riding the stack suspension, so I was afraid the car will really bounce, but I'm pretty happy with the car performance.
Back to the leaders now as we come towards the finish of stage 5. Paul Schwanier still making nice time out front. Looks like he's got his turbo boost problems behind him. Comes through at the finish here. We'll check the time. 45 minutes, .58. That's 58 hundredths of a minute. Nice time. We'll see how the rest compare. As his teammate Noel Lawler, hairpin left coming up. Co-driver keeping him on course. Remember, these guys are reading all this in a route book. This is the first time they've seen these stages. They've got only the route book to guide them through. At the finish now, 45.48 faster than Paul Schwanier in the dust. Noel's got to be happy with that. Behind him now, Frank Sprongel comes through the hairpin. Little over-rotation there, but keeps the power on. He's having a great run so far. As he comes up to the finish now, we'll check his time. 45 minutes, .34, the fastest time yet from the third position on the road. An incredible feat. Garen Schrader coming through the dust again now as he comes up back into the finish now. Seems to be keeping it going nicely. 46.86, and he's got to be happy with that as well. So despite road position changes, the order remains Sprongel, Lawler, Schwanier, Schrader, and Gingras. Lots more racing when we come back.
Hey, did you
you ever want to drive a real rally car? Then let European Rally School put you behind the wheel. Try our one-day rally course. Experienced drivers try our advanced courses, or even get your SCCA ProRally license. Our corporate entertainment package includes rally driving, skill pad, SUVs, ATVs, go-karts, and dune buggies. Call 1-877-U-RALLY.
World Driver Championship is as real as racing gets.
You just don't have to hold it for 75 laps.
World Driver Championship, your passport to racing. Only on Nintendo 64 from Midway.
Introducing a radically new SUV, the new Nissan Xterra. Everything you need, and nothing you don't.
Get on, go, 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 go.
Each week, we like to take you behind the scenes in a segment we call Rally Dirt. This week, we talk to the Hyundai team manager, John Buffum. I'm with John Buffum, 11-time Pro Rally champion. Now, John, besides working with us here at Speed Vision, you're a pretty busy guy. You're running the Hyundai team, and you've got 2 Tiburons this year. What's that like?
That's a lot of work. 2 cars are 4 times harder to take care of than 1 car. But we've had good 4 years with Hyundai. We've developed them quite a bit. The cars come through 2-wheel drive, and we made them 4-wheel drive, and we've turbocharged them.
Now, I understand a lot of the parts that you use are also used in World Rally with the Hyundai effort there. Has that helped you out?
Yes, we have used some of their parts, and we have exchanged ideas, and we're using an oil pan that they've developed and a few other things. So there is some exchange of ideas. Experience is another factor that's very key in rallying, because when you, both as a driver and as a mechanic or a team owner, you've seen many of the problems happen before they happen, and so you know how to deal with them. And the drivers do the same type of thing. They've seen so many corners that they can drive more safely yet quickly.
We get a view of the whole Hyundai team as Paul Schwanier takes off from Noel Lawler's onboard camera. He's going to be taking off onto stage number 6. This is a brand new stage for the event, 21.96 miles, the longest of the event. The dust, the heat, and the speed should be quite a combination for these guys in the cars. On board with Noel Lawler now as he heads through the stage. You can see the dust is already becoming a factor. Tough visibility, but he's keeping the speed up, not even lifting through these blind spots. His co-driver helping him out there, tight left. Nice speed, gets a little bit of air coming through. Frank Sprongel, next on the stage as he makes his way out. On board now. Whoa! Oh! Got wide there, just clipped into that tree. Quick replay here. Just didn't realize his corner tightened as much as it did. Got a little sideways, and that was it. Those trees are not going anywhere. They're right next to the road. That is really unfortunate. They are out of the event, it looks like. That damage is not going to let them continue. Garen Schrader, though, right behind them, next on the road. Hopefully they'll get that car out of the way in time as Garen comes through the same section now. Yeah, he can see the Sprongel standing there. He knows there's trouble ahead. And there is that car just demolished against the tree. That is really unfortunate for the Sprongels. They won here last year and now spectators for the rest of the event. Steve Gingras, whoa, sideways there. He can barely see the road, and that's what's causing a lot of these guys problems here. It's just terrible visibility. Paul Schwanier now coming up towards the finish of stage 7. A lot of tight corners in this stage mixed up with really fast straightaways, and that's what really makes for a challenge. Coming into the finish now. 76 minutes, .48, a good time. Again, Noel Lawler behind him. We'll see what he's going to do here. It seems hard to imagine he can hang on to this lead in that kind of visibility. At the finish, the time, 76.40. He is just clinging to the lead. So with the Sprongels out, it's Lawler, Schwanier, Schrader, Gingras, and now John Kemp moves into 5th. Noel Lawler knows the kind of work he has to do to continue leading this event.
It feels great to be leading, but you know, they don't reseed at this point, so we're not going to be able to have any dust advantage. It's just going to be behind Paul, so it will probably be Dusty, and hopefully we'll end up second.
And the Sprongles, definitely not their day.
400 meters into the stage, there was a caution, sharp left. Co-driver called it well. Driver, myself, had a different idea about taking the corner. Mother Nature had its own idea, and we made it with the tree. So, end of the rally, slid off, hurt the car a little bit, still drives. We just couldn't continue, that's all.
A whole lot more stage miles and a whole lot more rally action when we return. This Pro Rally event is brought to you by Hyundai. Driving is believing.
I beat up cars for a living. I'm driving a Hyundai Tiburon in the Pro Rally Series. We've won the Manufacturers' Championship the last 3 years for Hyundai. Hyundai's now stepped up to prove its reliability with America's best warranty. They're standing behind their cars in a big way. If everything is just right, then it builds my confidence as a driver.
Get in the car.
The future of sports journalism in America? You're looking at it. Overly dramatic lighting.
You know, these days lots of deodorants are talking antibacterial protection. Fact is, every deodorant is antibacterial, so it's not about that at all. It's about whose deodorant lasts longer. High Endurance. Its 24-hour formula evaporates less quickly than the leading stick. Old Spice guarantees it, or they'll buy you a stick of yours. If you want odor protection that really lasts, High Endurance exceeds the need.
The Lost Drive-In presents the story of Junior Johnson, whose kind heart and respect for others' cars inspired a whole new way to compete. Blame it on his dad. Jeff Bridges is a hard driver. Saturday at 11:30 Eastern.
Night in the Tioga Forest of Pennsylvania as Paul Schwanier sets out on the final stages of the event. He's still out front and still enjoys the advantage of no dust, and that's especially important here in the dark. Behind him, Noel Lawler, his teammate, still having a good run, still trying to hang on to his lead. You can see the blue fire. These guys are running 104-octane racing gas and putting every drop of it to work. Aaron Schrader now hanging on to third in the dark as he comes through. On board now, left-hander. Gets it a little sideways. Oh, into the bank. Ouch, on the replay here. You can see he just squirrels it around there, and that's all it takes. He's done. Another guy out of the race, Steve Gingras.
I think we were going a little too fast for the dust, and the car went out from underneath me. We slid off the road. Luckily, though, we missed the two big trees that were there, and we just tagged one with the front end a little bit.
Dramatic changes in the field as Paul Schwanier, still out front, heads towards the finish of the event here. Coming to the end, 2 hours, 29 minutes, .43. Noel Lawler behind him. Can he hang on to the lead he had earlier? He's keeping the momentum up through the hairpins here. He's had a real long night. It's about 2 in the morning now as he heads in towards the finish line. 2 hours, 32.36, not quite fast enough. He will take second place now. Behind him, John Kemp. He's moved up dramatically through the changes happening. 2 hours, 42.29, good enough for third place. And back in Wellsboro, the champagne is starting to flow.
So I gotta take my hat off to Paul tonight because of the dust is a big help, but Paul is the quicker.
Yeah, the Tiburon's running very well out there, and certainly the dust is helping us, but everything's falling in exactly as our game plan went earlier today, so we're very happy.
So a 1-2 victory for the Hyundai Rally team. John Kemp takes third, Cal Landau fourth, and Henry Krolakowski in fifth place. Season driver points are Schwanier, Lawler, Lamb, Schrader, and Kemp. Manufacturer's points are Hyundai, Subaru, Toyota, and Daewoo. Henry Krolakowski takes a two-wheel drive win, making the Woodner Cup points Cosmiti, Scheibel, Krolakowski, Utek, and Valenti. Make plans to join us next time for the Wild West Maine Forest Pro Rally, August 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern. Accommodations for our broadcast team provided by the Penwells Hotel in Wellsboro, Pennsylvania. A final look at some of the cars that didn't make it out of the woods on their own. We'll see you next time we go Pro Rally.
It is one of the most prestigious